This is one of the country's great ports. It's filled with every kind of vessel, civilian and military. I'm Mike Nelson. I was cruising through the harbor, as I'd often done, for pleasure. This time it wasn't for fun, though. I was one of many members of the Coast Guard Auxiliary who had volunteered to help check everything afloat. We were looking for something that could touch off a fuse, something that could lead to the biggest Holocaust in history. The United States was playing host to a strong man, the ruler of one of the world's most powerful countries, a man with many enemies. Intelligence had picked up rumbles of a plot against him. Our country had the tough responsibility of protecting him during his stay. My job was to help in assuring that nothing happened to him here. There was a big harbor, and big trouble could be tucked into any little corner of it. I had many friends in the port, some working on the same assignment, others with no idea that I was on serious business. I had just made my morning's report. I was wanted on Marine radio, on the double. The message was from my friend, Coast Guard Commander Jack Carter. I couldn't waste any time. He told me something not yet publicly known. Despite all the big preparations, the visiting dictator had insisted on stopping in a small resort down the coast. He would land in a harbor not yet checked out by security. Jack needed me fast, ready to dive. An hour later, I was underwater checking the harbor of the resort. Even in this small space, there were more hiding places for trouble than I cared to think about. There was rocky bottom, there was sand, and there was enough kelp to hide a small submarine. There were man-made objects in the bottom, too, such as this old boiler from a wreck. I hadn't found anything, and how could I be certain that nothing was there?
How's it look?
Well, so far, so good. Won't be long now, huh?
Yeah. Just be happy when it's over and done. We can't even start to relax till he's been here and gone.
A couple of things down there I'd like to photograph for the security boys. They might recognize something that I've overlooked.
Such as?
Well, there's an old boiler down there, for one thing. It was torn loose of a wreck by a hurricane.
Well, what about it?
It might be rigged. Might be booby-trapped. Something could be hidden inside of it. I think security ought to know about it.
Boilers, booby traps. Why did he have to come here, Mike? Look out there. Look at that harbor. It's a hard spot to protect. It's wide open. Tourists, fishermen, boatmen, people who make their homes there. How are we going to keep them out?
I guess we can't.
Of course not. We shouldn't even try. They have a right to be there. But any one of those people, Mike, any one of them could start something, either accidentally or on purpose. Any one of those people could trigger an international catastrophe.
So I better get back to work, huh?
Yeah.
Our attention, our thoughts, were concentrated on what might be underwater. We were unaware what was happening on shore. We were being observed.
Wow! Dig this, Moby Dick, will you please? I gotta split the seam.
Well, the boiler looked harmless enough. Just a part of a long, forgotten wreck. But it would be a perfect place to hide a bomb. It could be exactly timed, remotely controlled, or even rigged to go off with the sound of a plane on the water. I was convinced that nothing was there. But there's no substitute for the careful analysis of photographs.
No, nothing yet, but I'll keep looking for her. Yes, if I see her, I'll make sure she returns at once. You tell security to tighten their harbor watch. I don't want any more slip-ups. Out.
Like, hello! I dug your action. What's the scene, man? And why the Captain Hornblower? I'm Sam Spading, the other cat. I liked Flip when I dug his flippers. We could make beautiful music together.
I'm sorry, miss. I'm afraid I'll have to ask you to return to the pier at once. You see, this area is temporarily restricted.
I dig. Mr. Big is postmarked for here by magic carpet. Like, the whole orchestra's tuning up for the blast.
Blast?
Blast. It means welcome. Like, everybody's excited about the big cat's visit. Like, it's simple. Don't you dig? It's plain English.
Once again, miss, I'm sorry, but I'll have to insist you return to that pier.
I know. Tell the other cat he's been lynched by Susie. Like, wow. Dig you later, man.
Susie Turner was still looking for me underwater. She saw a diver, but it wasn't Mike Nelson. was finishing my photographs and was ready to return to the boat. Unfortunately, I wasn't the only one who thought the boiler would make a good hiding place.
Get him?
Yeah, from every angle.
I better rush him to security right away.
Good idea. Is that plane still on schedule?
Whole orchestra's tuning up for the blast.
What'd you say?
Never mind, you'll find out.
Blast? I'll get the sandwiches and meet you at headquarters. I'm anxious to hear what security says about those pictures I took.
All right.
Hi.
Hi.
Like you sure took your time sailing across the briny. I've been cooling it since, Captain Bligh made me walk the gangplank. I felt like Cuckoo, the bird girl. But I'm back in orbit now. Like, you had that special look. Like, I dig. Like, we're in the same key.
This is what I meant when I said you'll find out. Cuckoo the bird girl was out to the boat looking for you, but security was looking for her. I had to send her in before the fireworks started. See you later, Mike. I mean, I'll dig you later, alligator. Excuse me.
Bye.
Well, thanks, just the same, but it'll spoil my appetite. I'm on my way to lunch.
Like, what's your name?
Mike Nelson.
Crazy. I'm Susie Turner.
Yeah, well, nice knowing you, Susie. I'll see you around, huh?
Like when?
Well, like in about 5 years.
Mike? How come your cats are always busy digging seaweed? Like, I saw a seaweed-loving friend of yours making with the fish when I took the flyer to your boat. Like, he's carrying the craziest-looking metal box.
Well, that crazy box was a special camera that I use on the water. It was me.
Like, I ought to know when I'm digging you and when I'm not. This cat put me down. One look at me and he, like, cut out fast. Besides, he was smaller than you and he had dark hair.
You sure you saw another diver down there?
Like, it wasn't Mac the Knife Dad. And if that was a camera he was carrying, it was the craziest-looking camera I ever saw.
Susie, can you keep a secret?
Like I'm a sphinx.
All right, I'll tell you what you do. You get over to North Point Beach and, well, just keep your eyes open. Huh? If you see anything strange, get out of there fast.
Crazy, Mike. Like, I'm already on my way.
I sent Susie on her errand mostly to get rid of her. I didn't realize that it would prove to be one of the most important things that I'd ever done. A dictator visiting the United States was going to land in a small harbor. There had been almost no notice, and I had been called in for a frantic security check, underwater. My photographs had been carefully studied. They revealed nothing. But the diver Susie saw, or thought she saw, was something else.
I wouldn't give too much credence to what she says. She's just a crazy kid. Or maybe you misunderstood what she said because of all this bebop talk, whatever it is.
Oh, I thought so at first, too. But she even described that other diver to me. Said that he was smaller than I was, had dark hair, and was carrying a small metal box-shaped object.
That doesn't sound too good.
It sure doesn't. You know, it's possible that whoever it was got through before they finished stringing the sonar installations in the harbor.
Sure, it's possible. But if that's the case, why isn't sonar picking him up right now?
Well, it's also possible that he got out before they finished stringing them, too. You know, my first thought was that maybe the Coast Guard or the Navy had other divers in that area.
Definitely negative on Coast Guard. However, we are checking Navy intelligence.
You think it's possible that he might be able to postpone his visit?
Mike, I wish it would. Now, with the kind of orders I have, it... Come in. Thank you. That'll be all, no answer. Well, the Navy doesn't have any other divers in the area.
Well, that settles that.
But they're going to have, Mike. I'm going to put in a call for one. I want the two of you to scour every square inch of this harbor.
Okay, Roger.
If there is another diver, if he's still there, sonar will pick him up. But if he's finished his work and gone, it's up to us to find out what he was working on.
How much more time have we got?
I'm afraid that's the catch. We're only going to have 1 hour, 8 minutes, and about 36 seconds.
The Navy diver and I were searching underwater. For whom or what, we didn't know. We started with the pier area, the place where a bomb could do the most damage. All we had to go on was Susie's description of what the diver carried, if there was a diver. A small metal box. We decided to split up. The Navy diver would search in one direction, and I would search in the other. I was beginning to think that maybe Carter had been right after all. Maybe Susie Turner was nothing more than a crazy kid with an even crazier imagination. The Navy diver and I agreed to meet back in my boat, and I was a couple of seconds overdue now.
On the double! Hurry it out, boy. Word came in just a few minutes ago. discovered 2 divers holed up in a cave at North Point Beach.
North Point Beach. That's where I sent Susie.
Oh, she's all right. They've got her, too. She's at Coast Guard headquarters. Mike, they had evidence of 3 divers. One's missing, the other 2 won't talk. Security's afraid they planted a bomb somewhere in or around the harbor.
What are you going to do?
Well, we don't have any choice. We don't find that 3rd diver, and soon we evacuate the entire area, civilian and military. Now, we can reroute the landing party. We'll bring them in north of here at that emergency landing field.
What's your deadline for evacuation?
About 15 minutes.
When Susie saw that other diver down there, I was photographing the boiler. I still think that'd be a great place to hide a bomb.
It's worth another look.
Yeah, but 15 minutes, I don't know if that'll give me time. Can you hold off security?
I don't know, but I'll try. You go ahead.
Okay, we'll split up, huh? I'll take the boiler.
Roger.
I headed straight for the boiler. At first, I thought it might be the Navy diver. He hadn't seen me. The only chance that I had of discovering what he was up to was to watch. I decided to hang back and follow him. I was right, and so was Susie. He had gone back to the boiler to recover a rectangular-shaped metal box. I knew it must be a bomb. Before I knew what had happened to him, he was on top of me. He drew his knife and lunged at me. I made a screen of sand and got behind him. I didn't waste any time getting him to the surface. I had to get back to disarm that box.
Well, it's almost over. I don't mind telling you, I'm really thankful. You know, even though it was a small bomb, Mike, it could have leveled this entire harbor area. If you hadn't found that fellow, a lot of people could have lost their lives. It might have been a major disaster.
Well, I was lucky.
Ah. Right on schedule.
Yeah.
I better get down there. So long, Mike.
So long.
Speaking of disasters, I'll dig you later, alligator.
Man, you sure bug me.
What?
Like I told you to cut out the signs of any caper.
Huh?
Like the grapevine has it. You were digging those cats with the seaweed from down under while they were playing it cool in a cave on the beach. Like you don't know when to split the scene, man. Like Squaresville, man. You know, Squaresville? Like from now on, I'll do my own Sam Spading.
Mike, you dig English.
Like what else? Like right now, I'm heading for a mound of the old cool, blanketed with rocks and white, and topped with a heap of rich, juicy red.
A raspberry sundae. Crazy, man. Like, it's my favorite.
Well, so what are we waiting for? Like, be my guest? Hello there. I'm Lloyd Bridges. You know, 3/5 of the world is covered by the sea. And how little most of us know about that underwater world. Go below with us again next week, huh? For another thrilling adventure in Sea Hunt.